What's going on, everyone? Happy Thursday to everyone. Hopefully, everyone is doing well, staying safe, healthy. If you had to take a COVID test, hopefully you have tested negative. And if you did test positive, I really hope you have a full and speedy recovery with no long COVID issues. It is time now for the Thursday edition of the Pandemic Update for Thursday, August 24th, 2023. Before we get started today, I just wanted to acknowledge something. I've been gaining several new subscribers as of lately. Uh, More people have been clicking onto the pandemic updates. I guess that's a good thing, because that means more people are starting to say, hey, maybe the pandemic is not really over, and maybe it's still ongoing. So if you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel, and if this is the first time you've seen one of my pandemic updates, basically what we do here is we update on the ongoing pandemic. I show various news stories from different websites. I show data from whatever data is left. There's not much data left out there. And in between, I do state some of my opinions. Am I a medically trained professional? No. Am I college educated? Some might be surprised to find out. No, I'm not. Or maybe it's obvious in some of my videos. Why do I do this channel? It's because I'm a concerned citizen that feels people need to know what is still going on, and I do my best to find whatever I can to report on this pandemic to help keep you safe. That's really what it's all about. We'll have more on that in a video that I think I'm going to do over the weekend, a well-needed video that gives more a background of just who I am. That's over the weekend. This is today. Let's get to today's pandemic update. We got several news stories, and we do have some states that updated today with new data and information. So first off here, COVID hospitalizations climbed 22% this week, and the CDC predicts further increases as new variants spread. This is from CBS News. We've been watching COVID hospitalizations rise for multiple weeks. It seems as if as the number is getting higher, the percent that it rises each week is getting higher as well. That is not a good thing, and it is not something that we like to see, but here we are. It's 2023, and this is still ongoing. All right, we do have a series of COVID outbreaks. I figured the best way to go through these, as we do have a lot of data to show today, would be, let's just read the headlines. So first off, this is in Kentucky. Remember the other day we shared a story how there was a school district in Kentucky that had to close due to illness? Well, now there are multiple schools in Kentucky, school districts, that have closed due to illnesses at the start of the new school year. Then we move on to this. This is from Bakersfield.com. COVID outbreak closes M Street shelter to new clients due to, again, a COVID outbreak. Florida High School Football Week. One game with Trinity Catholic postponed due to COVID outbreak. Anderson County Detention Center makes changes this week due to COVID outbreak. This is in Greenville, South Carolina. School district in South Texas temporarily closes due to uptick in COVID-19 cases. So, again, it's the start of a new school year. I know here in Philadelphia, the Philadelphia School District won't start till after Labor Day, September 5th. So, we still got a little ways to go with the back to school and all these potential illnesses and disruptions that's happening in the school year. All right. Remember the BA 2.86 that we've been talking about that seems to be getting a lot of buzz on the internet? Well, BNO, as I reported on yesterday, BNO is doing a variant tracker, and it looks like there's a couple more cases that have been added. Denmark now has 3 total cases. United States of America, here in the U.S., 3 cases. South Africa, 2 cases. Israel, 1 case. Switzerland, 1 case. Thailand, 1 case. And the United Kingdom did add a new case. There's now a total of 12 of these BA 2.86 confirmed cases around the world. Also, we do have this today. Louisiana reports 8,013 new COVID cases this week, an increase of 70% from last week. Wow, that's a big increase. You're going to see some more increases later on in this video. Let's take a look at the latest air quality values. Let me refresh this as it comes up. I can tell you locally here, you're seeing some orange and yellow here in southeast Pennsylvania. We did have some air quality issues this morning and last night. There was a wildfire that occurred in Morthon State Forest, New Jersey, and I saw a lot of people reporting, whether it be Facebook or wherever, different places, people stating that they are smelling smoke in the air. And that was true. There was some smoke in the air this morning, and that can create some issues with air quality. Taking a look here, you see across Chicago, there are some air quality concerns. Chicago through Indianapolis, down into the southeast, it's in the orange category, which is slightly poor and unhealthy. And Pacific Northwest continues to be poor and unhealthy. Not as many maroon. There are still some red and maroon sites, but not as many now in Washington and Oregon as we're seeing. Now there are some more down here in Northern California, and that is relatively concerning. I didn't check to see if there's any new wildfires there. There may be, just based on the way this is looking, and that does continue. There are some yellows all the way even down to Los Angeles. We do see one red site there. I have another channel where I talk about weather and climate, where I do include air quality reports. That is at Climate Data Report, and that will be posted down below. All right, Walgreens this week. We know the positivity nationally went to 44.9%. Prior week was 44.1%. That was up 0.9% with an increase in testing. Taking a look at BioBot, and let's refresh this. There should be an update on this coming either today or tomorrow. Let's just check again. I've been checking throughout the day. It does appear the update is in. So in the Midwest, look at this. We're continuing to see a downward trend now in wastewater in the Midwest. Interesting. But we're continuing to see that in the Southeast is dropping a little bit now. And we're continuing to see the Northeast and the West Coast rise ever so slightly. So I really wasn't expecting to see much of a drop. Guess what? That's a surprise good news. And anytime we can get any kind of good news, I will gladly take it. But be advised, there have been a couple instances where BioBot has had to go back and correct this. Hopefully that does not happen, and hopefully maybe we're showing some signs that the EG.5 and the FL 1.5.1 wave, maybe it's peaking. We'll see. I doubt it, though. It's too soon to say, but hey, anytime we can see any bit of a drop, that's some good news. All right, moving on now. Taking a look here at CDC data, we've been waiting for this to update as well. I think sometimes it updates on Thursday, sometimes it's on Friday that it updates. This is basically wastewater, and these different colors represent various different levels of COVID being detected in wastewater. You have 60 to 79% at 253 sites, and then the red, which is really bad, 80 to 100%. That's at 70 sites. All right, now let's take a look at a couple of those sites across the country that show other things besides just, just COVID. And I thought today we would take a look at New Jersey, and then we would take a look at somewhere maybe in the central region. So let's come down here to New Jersey, and the first one we'll look at, bear with me, this site sometimes is slow, and let's take a look at Passaic Valley here. And you can see here, wastewater has been rising relatively rapidly for COVID. There has been an ever so slight drop on the new update. Let's move myself to the left here so you can see the rest of this data better. Influenza, look at that. It is starting to rise already. Have you guys gone back to school yet? I don't know. Usually New Jersey is fairly similar to Pennsylvania with the school routine. But nonetheless, there is now starting to be a couple flu cases being detected. And this has happened a few times during the summer, but now this is the highest level we've seen there this summer. RSV and not being detected. HMPV at this time not being detected. Mpox, as you can see here, is not being detected now. And there are some levels of norovirus, but they are at low levels at this time. Let's also take somewhere else now for an example. Let's see here. How about we come out here to Chicago? When's the last time that we did Chicago? I don't even remember. It's been a while. And we're pretty close to Chicago. This is, I guess, relatively, you could consider this the suburbs of Chicago. Glen Elwyn, hope I'm saying that correctly, Illinois. This is just west of the Chicago area. It would be nice if we had Cook County on here. It would be nice to see that at faster updates than what we get on the CDC website. But here we go. COVID it has leveled off. The overall trajectory this summer has been rising, but most recently it has leveled. And you know what? That kind of makes sense because the Midwest on Biobot today just dropped a little bit, so that's interesting to see. No influenza being detected yet. RSV, yeah, there is a little bit. It's starting to rise. That's not a good thing. HMPV, none of that. No Mpox. There's 2 bits of good news right there. Norovirus is flat at this time. So there you go. We did a couple of these wastewater sites that show other things. If you want some more good news, there's a tiny bit. We did get the update on the ER visits for COVID page. And take a look here. Vermont and New Hampshire actually dropped. Alaska actually dropped. So yes, that is a good thing, but the rest of the country, well, there's 4 places that did not report. Minnesota, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Puerto Rico. The rest is either stable, moderately rising, or substantially rising. And that's not such a good thing. But again, we do have 3 states that are dropping ever so slightly, or somewhat, and actually, New Hampshire saw a substantial decrease. So that is a good thing. So you gotta at least point out some of the good news within all this bad news that I do report on daily. Alright, let's go back to on this day in COVID history, to August 24th of 2020. The first documented case of COVID-19 reinfection is confirmed by the University of Hong Kong. And we all know what happened next. As time went on, more and more reinfections. Some people on their 2nd and 3rd. And there's that Australian woman. 10 cases she's had. Yeah, I think it was Australia. Alright, variants. EG.5 is in the lead at 20.6%. FL 1.5.1 is at 13.3%. So there's your top leading variants. Let's take a look now at New Jersey. New Jersey's hospitalizations. 311 people in the hospital. 10 people on a ventilator. In the ICU, 25. So New Jersey actually dropped slightly today. Take that as some good news. It's always good to see a drop. Discharges. 45 people were discharged. So, yeah, the number of discharges actually outpaced the number of admissions because the overall number did drop. But there is one disclaimer. Only 67 out of 70 hospitals reported. So we could assume with 3 hospitals not reporting, the total number of hospitalizations would be likely be higher if all 70 reported. Alright, taking a look now at Philadelphia. Philadelphia did update, and that is not today's number. We want to show you today's number. Here it is. Thought I already had it pulled up. Today's number, it's lower. This is much lower. We're finally seeing multiple days below 800. That's a good thing, right? 714 EMS incidents. That's nowhere near 800. So I'm happy with that number. Can we get it down even more tomorrow? I hope, but we'll have to see what tomorrow brings. Let's do a live look in at the suburbs of Philadelphia, and unfortunately, wow, I see multiple respiratory incidents. 1, 2, 3, 4 active respiratory incidents in Montgomery County right now. And I follow this quite often. And the number of calls that have been for respiratory as of lately, they've been up. And that could be a signal that, hey, maybe COVID calls is going up. Let's take a look at Chester County. And you can see in Chester County, wow, quite a few calls in Chester County right now. This is 5:27 in the evening. This is pretty busy. We do, however, note here, there's a lot of calls that are for fall and lift assist. I see, what do I see here? 4 of them. I see multiple sick person calls. Heart problems is common right now. So, yes, it is pretty busy in the suburbs of Philadelphia right now. So, I hope that doesn't mean that Philadelphia is going to come in with a much higher number tomorrow, but only time will tell. Taking a look at New York State for today. 1,387 new cases. And when we take a look at the positivity, 14.7% positivity. Did not go over 15. That's a good thing. 7-day average is 14.3%. These cases are actually down slightly from yesterday. That's good news. Taking a look at the latest hospitalizations across New York State, you can see here 1,053 hospitalizations, up slightly from yesterday. In the ICU, 115. So while this is still much lower than other peaks, as you can see here, We don't even have to go back that far. It's still much lower. The overall trend continues to be up. How much higher will it go? It's anyone's guess. Only time will tell. And there have been the news stories. Matter of fact, I shared one yesterday that state more New York. At least I think I shared it yesterday. That states more New Yorkers in New York City are starting to mask again. Maybe just that tiny bit of people wearing a mask again will help prevent this wave from getting totally out of control. Got to be optimistic somehow. Taking a look at New York City for today, as this will likely refresh on us, you will see that New York City, here we go, the New York City number for today, it continues, wait, that's not New York City. Here comes New York City. It always does that. New York City, while it's up ever so slightly from yesterday, it's down slightly from Monday. 488 people in the hospital, 56 people in the ICU. Not good to see that the ICU number has gone up slightly, but again, this is much lower than previous peaks. You can see where we were last winter up in New York State. This is much lower. How much higher will it go? Only time will tell. All right, now let's take a look at Ohio for today. And Ohio did come in higher than last week. 5,361 cases. That's higher. Taking a look at hospitalization change, 111 added there. They do their hospitalizations differently. They do a pandemic total. They don't do an active total. 2 people have been admitted to the ICU in the last week, and it says death change. So in other words, I guess they added 16 deaths in the last week. Now we want to come to California. I've been refreshing this all day long. California is supposed to update on Thursdays. Maybe they do it later. It's a 3-hour time difference. It's 5:30 here. It's 3:30 out there. Maybe it comes in later. I know last week, I don't think we got California data on the pandemic update until the Friday edition. So looks like we'll have to wait till Friday. Last week was 11.8% positive, by the way. And I have to show you this today. Colorado. Wow. So Colorado last week, total cases reported on last week's update was 751. Today, that didn't just double. It more than doubled. 1,746. Look at this chart. That is a humongous rise. That's not good. Currently hospitalized, 99. That's up by 22. It's just not good to see California rise that fast when we're still trying to find clues about this BA 2.86. Right now we could assume it's the EG.5 or FL 1.5.1, but here you have it here. Colorado is seeing a big increase. Hopefully we get some answers as to why. Within 1 week, Colorado rose that high. Did they add something to the data? That was there a backlog or something? Did it legitimately go up that much? I'm not certain. Hopefully we get some more answers. If you find out anything that I don't know about, please let me know down below. I love to be educated. I love to be corrected when there's something that I don't know about. So let me know. Alrighty, let's just briefly do a little bit of an international update for today. Nothing major. Let's just take a look here. South Korea. I'm going to move myself back to the right. South Korea. Cases down 34%. Deaths are down 14%. Romania. Cases are up 201%, but their deaths are not rising. Down 56%. Australia. Cases down 64%. Deaths down 79%. Then we come down here to Malaysia. Cases now up 22%. No deaths reported. Mako. No deaths reported at this time. Cases are up 5%. Switzerland, no deaths reported. Cases are up 42%. Alrighty, folks, that does it for the Thursday edition of the Pandemic Update. Hopefully this was informative to you. I try my best here to, hey, look, I'm just an amateur reporter and a concerned citizen that wants to bring you the latest news and data on the pandemic. And I try my best to do that to you every day. So hopefully this was informative to you. Hopefully it helped you in some way. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, subscribe to my channel down below. If you know anyone that needs to know the latest news, information, and data, by all means, share this with your friends or whoever. Videos to watch for in the coming days. We'll have a new pandemic update tomorrow. We'll have a pandemic update Saturday, and possibly a little bit of a background video about me, of who I am. I told you a little bit in the beginning of the video. I think it's time I tell my full story. Why not? I mean, we've only been doing this for a year now, so look for that at some point over the weekend. I will see you all again next time. Until I see you again next time, stay safe, everyone, and have a great day. Thanks for watching.